Good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing this evening? Listen, it's been an eventful weekend so far, eventful day. Listen, I'm not gonna be over here long. Uh I ain't got really much to talk about. It's not really a rant. It's just me talking. It's me trying to encourage my people still. I had another show that was planned for this week, but that fell through. So I am I'm doing what God told me to do. And he said, go on anyway. And do a show based on what I told you. Okay. Well, this week, if you didn't know, my name is Daryl Williams. I just want to say welcome to the Daryl Show. It's nice to see you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of these things because I need it. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to grow and get to the next level. I'm trying to reach a particular goal. And you guys are the ones that make all the difference in getting me to where I need to go. My I know you see me with I usually wear black, but in honor of opening day this past week, I am wearing the Authentic Braves jersey. We ain't do too good. I think we lost 3 games to San Diego. I don't know what today's score is, so I had to check that when I get off. But these are my boys. I'm gonna stick beside them. Our bullpen was kind of trash, but you know what do? You still ride with them. You can't wait till it's always up. Sometimes it's gonna be down, and you just got to go take this roller coaster ride with them. So it's still early in the season. There's 162 games, and we still have a chance. Okay. Um, Listen, I just want to get into something right quick. I'm sweating. I just got the shower. Oh my goodness. The air conditioner on, but it's not blowing. So I'm gonna have to tell the land people to come over here and check it out. But anyway, so the title of this is "Don't Fall for It." Okay. Uh, and I'm talking to a particular people, a particular bunch with this one right here. Um, I don't want us to fall for what's happening. There are a lot of people that are doing everything they can to get us to act up. And by us, I mean poor people and black people, but specifically black people. I never wanted to get into the whole race thing, the whole white versus black or anything like that. And I know that what we're having right now is a class issue. We're having a classism war pretty much right now. And those that have the capital to live their lives every day, they're not worried about stuff that average people may be worried about. Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm a believer, and I believe God, and I take him as his word at his word. I believe God when he says that he will never leave me nor forsake me. I believe God when he says to me that he will always be there for me, and that when King David said he's been younger, he's been old, he's never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. I believe God's word. I believe in being a giver. I believe in being a sower. I believe in all of these things to help me myself get to the next level in life. Have I reached my top potential? No. Am I going in that direction? Absolutely. But aside from me being a Christian, aside from me being a believer, I'm also a human. And right now we live in some times where people are, exuding and showing us things that are inhumane, not just unchristlike, but inhumane. We are rounding up as a country, and I will say we are because I live here in the United States, and this is my home. This is where I was born. This is where I came from, physically. Now, I will say that we have people in here in these United States who have an agenda that is counteractive or counterintuitive to what it is that we're trying to do as a nation, or what we were taught to be trying to do as a nation. And it's all in the name of God, in the name of economy, in the name of egg prices, gas prices. Never mind the fact that all of these things have gone up since this new administration has taken place. But let's deal with some of the stuff that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Now, I'm that person. I don't really shy away from topics. I don't really shy away from subjects because I'm not afraid. Because I spend a lot of time learning. I've spent a lot of time researching. I spend a lot of time talking and getting to know information because I believe what the Bible says, "In all my getting, get understanding." And so, and I also know how to apply wisdom. Y'all forgive me for sweating like this, but I know how to apply wisdom um, and knowledge and intermingle the two. But right now, just in the last week, if you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to what's happening, it would seem as if though, and some things have been said. Now, is one thing about me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't I don't flow in conspiracies. Um I don't look at people sideways. I give everybody an opportunity and chance to be who it is that they say they are. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, white, black, blue, green, Mexican, it don't matter. I take you for who it is that you say you are. I don't pass judgment. I don't because I've gone through some things myself. So I don't pass judgment. I don't treat people less than because of where they are, because we've seen time and time again where people can start in one place and end up at the top of a mountain and then may have to reach back for you. So I'm not that guy, okay? But I will say that I am the guy to stand up for people. I am the guy to say something when things don't look right concerning people. Now, I've said this before, and I really mean what I said. It's three kinds of people you will not get to mess around with me. Those are elderly people, children, and special needs people. Doesn't matter how far special needs you are. I don't care if you're slightly on the spectrum or if you're full blown, almost a vegetable. You're not gonna. It's not gonna fly with me for people to mistreat you. Okay. So, but here in the last week, well, 60 days, but we're gonna just focus on this last week because this last week is what's important right now. Um, I just want to say, my people, especially people that look like me, hold the line. Hold the line. Do not get into your feelings. Do not let what is happening stop you or take you off your game and make you want to go out and act out. Now, I hear that there's a protest coming up on April 5th. Now, the only thing I know about April 5th is my best friend's birthday. And we usually clown each other, and we clown each other pretty hard. And I told him I got that heat for him this year, but I ain't decided if I was gonna release it or not. But anyway, stay in the house. Black people, stay in the house. Poor white people, stay in the house. Latinos, stay in the house. This is a battle that doesn't belong to us right now. This is something that is not on our plate. It's not on our backs. We didn't ask for it. We didn't sign up for it. So those that did, let them fight it out. Let them work it out. Stay in the house. Stay out of the way. Let people handle their business the way they see fit. Because no matter what you say, no matter what you do, people are going to choose to do what they do. What they do, they're going to align with what they align with, and sometimes it's blindly, sometimes it's willfully. We don't know, but I will say to Black people, Latinos, poor whites, Asians, Muslims, whomever you are, um, Christ believers, stay in the house. This ain't for us. This is not for us. This is not our wheelhouse. This is not our bellywick, as they like to say. This is something that's above us because we tried. We try. It doesn't matter where you stand politically. It doesn't matter where you stand. It should matter where you stand morally. It should matter where you stand fiscally as well. But I'm begging for my people. I'm begging you guys. Please stay in the house. Do not get caught up, like I said, in your emotions, being vulnerable, and allow somebody to unleash and unload on you with a fury that they've been wanting to do for a very long time. I want God's people to really take a step back, and I want us to really use discernment. And I really want us to understand that I remember Pastor Craig Oliver did a message one time, and that message, I forget what he was talking about, but he was, but this one particular line stuck out to me. He was like, on our money, on our currency here in the United States, it says, in God we trust. He said, and God is saying right now, if you really trust me, let me shake it up a little bit to see if you really trust me, or if you're just talking. Right now, those are one of those seasons. That's one of those seasons that we're in. We're one of those seasons that we're in where we have to believe God for who He say He is. Again, I said this last week that I do believe that revival is on the way. I do believe that there's going to be an uprising of those who were probably struggling with who Jesus was, and or even turn their backs and turn their hearts away from Jesus to come back to see exactly what it is that He's doing in this day. Uh, Honestly, I'm one of those people. I believe that God has already done what He's going to do. Every part of our lives is written out in heaven. I believe that. I believe that there's a book in heaven. Now, I'm not going to go too deep. I'm not going to start preaching or anything like that. But I believe that there's a book in heaven with our names written in it. And every second, every millisecond of our lives is already planned out. Excuse me. And of course, Jesus created us. And so since He created us, He's the only one that's going to be able to bring us through. He promised us, and I cannot say this enough. He promised us that He is the Alpha and the Omega. He promised us that He would never leave us nor forsake us. And I want my people to understand God is a man that He shall not lie. He ain't like me. I've lied before. He ain't like your brother. He ain't like your auntie. He ain't like your mama. He ain't like your daddy. He is not like man that He should lie. He's not going to lie. All He wants us to do is trust Him. And if you haven't trusted God before in your life, this is a perfect time to start. There's an all-out war for it, and people, please understand. My heart is really, my heart is a heart that's geared towards justice in every respect, in every aspect. I want justice to prevail at every moment. I want God's judgment to prevail at every moment, whether it's good or bad. Because some things need to be judged in a bad way, and some things need to be judged in a more positive way, I should say. And by that, what I'm saying with that is, and I said this in a short that I released earlier in the week, that God's judgment, and people make it seem as if God's judgment is all bad. Yes, when when fire rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah, that was God's judgment. But when Jesus came, died for our sins, rose on the third day, and said, whosoever that's anybody who believes on Him, call on His name, believe in his heart, can be saved. That was God's judgment also. That's a good thing. Salvation is always a good thing. Salvation is saving you yourself from something, saving you from something that you couldn't do yourself. That's always a good thing. So judgment ain't all bad. But with God being a just judge and a righteous judge, scales are always going to balance. Doesn't matter. We're all gonna reap what we sow. These are certain things in our lives that are just laws. These are certain things that's gonna come around, and you can't get around them. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter, how you can't get around what God said He's going to do concerning you and His people. You can't get around it. It's impossible. The Bible tells us you can't sneak into heaven. You can't do any of these things. These are things that we have to deal with. I was reading Ecclesiastes 3 last night, and the Bible clear. Solomon was so clear on what he was saying that there's a time and season for everything. Yes, there's a time and season to plant. There's a time and season to harvest. There's a time and season to kill. There's time and season to let live. All of these different things. Go back and read Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time and season for everything. And I just want God's people right now in this season to really take it seriously. Black people in particular. Well, let's go. Let me talk one more thing. People are saying that the things that are happening in the federal government does affect them, but they actually do. Because if you know anything about leadership, if you know anything about advancement or anything like that, it always starts at the top. It always starts at the head. And here in America, our federal government is at the top. There are three co-equal branches: the executive, legislative, and judicial. They all start at the top. So what that means is if we have someone firing someone or laying people off or displacing people from their jobs at the top, the states are going to follow. That's just what it is. Not even the states, a lot of time, private businesses will follow because they're going to go off of what they see. They're going to go off of what the season is. So with that being said, every part of our American life, our American culture, the Western culture is important right now. We have we have inept leadership right now. We have people who know nothing about uh, tariffs or anything like that. We have people who know nothing about the price of a gallon of milk. Yet your policies are increasing these prices of milk and all of these things, and it's all because you feel hurt by something. You feel mistreated by something that you caused. The one thing about being righteous, if you're righteous, you're only going to get righteousness in return. Yet, if you decide to step out of God's righteousness, what do you expect? You're going to get the bad end of the judgment concerning who God is. That's law. There's nothing you can do to get around that. Paul tells us Paul tells us when our current president, when he got into office the first time, people try to prop him up as this big Christian and things like that. The only thing I could judge is people's fruit. Now I've been looking at fruit of his since 2008, 2012, more than likely. But anyway, all we can do is look at people's fruit. Can't look at anything else. Can't judge anything else. Can't just judge any decision that's made or anything like that. All I can do is judge fruit. We all are fruit inspectors. We should be, because we can't say that our personal relationships should only be judged by the fruit, and every other relationship shouldn't be judged by fruit. It doesn't work that way. God weighs everything on the same scale. And need people to understand that there's no big sin versus little sin or anything like that. Yes, if you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, then you're not going to come back. But a believer will never do that. Would never. It's impossible for a believer to do that because the Holy Spirit convicts you. But anyway, all I can do is judge fruit. And according to the fruit that I'm seeing, it's full of flies and it's rotten. Okay. When Paul told us in the New Testament that the one thing that we should not do is be quick to lay hands on people, be quick to put novices in leadership. And we're seeing exactly why right now. We have a 78-year-old petulant president who is attacking things instead of taking accountability. The story that we talked about has been talked about all week. Signalgate is what they're calling it. Signalgate is Signalgate is where a bunch of our leaders got into a group chat, like some college frat boys, and giving away our secrets, putting the whole country in jeopardy. Meanwhile, we have people who we have people who are downplaying this and making it seem as if though, oh, it's no big deal. But it is a big deal because my children were in the military. Son was in the Air Force, daughter was in the Army. So if they were still active duty right now and they were deployed to these areas, I would want and I would pray for my children to come back safe and sound. So what that means is I'm placing them into the hands of our federal government to be taken care of, to make sure that they have every advantage on their side, not pass around government secrets in a group chat that's unsecure, by the way, like it's a beer pong party on the campus at Columbus State or somewhere. Shout out Columbus State, go Cougars. But I mean, come on, people. Let's be serious. As Daryl Jr. said, it's a national security threat. You put 330 million people in jeopardy based on stupidity, based on having low cell counts in your mind. Now, if we're taking the Bible, if we're taking the Bible and we are going to fashion leaders out of it, or make leaders seem, or make leaders, or hold leaders to the standard of what the Bible tells us, nobody in our federal government would be would be qualified. And that doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, because the only one we had that was close was Jimmy Carter. The only one, God rest his soul, and people hated him. But and I know, thank you, Holy Spirit. I know it wasn't him. They hated Jesus, the Jesus that lived in him. Jesus told us that they would hate me before they hate you. I know that for a fact. I'm not making this up. I got it from the word. This is what the word says. Y'all ain't gonna believe me. Y'all think I'm just sitting up here just talking just to be talking, but I literally try to apply the word to my life in every aspect I can. Now, do I struggle? Yes, I do. Do I make the right decisions every time? Absolutely not. But I'm also quick to go to God and repent. I'm also quick to go to God and say, I apologize, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna do better next time. No, I'm not King David, but I'd like to liken. I could be a little bit of King David, and I'll also be a little bit of Apostle Peter. Just saying, don't get it twisted. But anyway, we live in a time now where everything is just like our president made a comment about he doesn't care about cars being prices being raised on cars because you want people to buy American. I'm like, I'm scratching my locks. I'm scratching my head. Like, bro, you do realize these Americans that we're talking about. These are Americans that we're talking about. We're talking about Americans today. A tariff, and I get it. I understand. I've seen people learn new words and they use them until they just can't use them anymore. They apply them to everything. I've seen it happen before. I've done it myself. I.e., the word matriculate. People will use it to death. Use it till you can't use it no more. Don't use it for my funeral. I've said that before. But anyway, that's where we are right now. You're just doing stuff with executive order because that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You could sign stuff. You can sign stuff that doesn't become law. It's just your opinion. You can say this is what I want. Meanwhile, you're tying up the courts. You're bogging down our judges that could be prosecuting real crime. That could be going after real people that are doing foolishness that's trying to hurt the United States. But we're not doing that because our inept president and all his homeboys are on this tear to tear the government down from the inside out. Why? Yes, this is live. And while I can speak, because look like it's gonna be a time we're not even gonna have free speech anymore. So while I can speak, I hope people are watching this and I hope people are taking me seriously. Right now, I'm on my Noah. I'm in my Noah time right now. I'm building this ark, one piece of wood at a time, and I pray that when it all comes out, everybody will jump on board and see that I wasn't lying. Discernment is real. Again, I don't roll around and operate in conspiracy theorists. I believe, and I don't know why, but I'm telling you, I honestly don't know why. I don't know if it's part of my calling or what, but I've lately been leaning into politics and government and hearing things from God before they happen. I told y'all back in 2016, 2015, I started hearing America Great Again. I'm telling you, it dropped in my spirit on the spot. America, made America white again. And that agenda is still taking place right now. If you notice, everything that's happening right now, it's to get us riled up. It's to get people into the streets to start protesting and things like that, just so that we could get to a place of what they call martial law. And by that, what that means is the military is on the street and they're acting as law enforcement and keeping people in houses and different things like that. If America ever gets to that, we man, we will be in a sad state. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll be in a sad state. I love this country. This country ain't always been fair to me and people that look like me. No. Yet, it's what I know. It's what I've come to love. It's what I've come to understand. It's the way of life for me. And like everything that's happening right now. This week when Signal Gate happened, right after that, and there's a pattern. I want people to start looking at patterns. There's a pattern. When Signal Gate happened, hmm, our president, instead of taking accountability and getting rid of the people that did what he's supposed to, that did what they did, this man decided to go and attack black people. The Black Smithsonian Museum. For what? Why? You 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 signed an executive order for our vice president to go in and pretty much remove artifacts and history here in the United States. I've been to that museum. Beautiful museum. It's so big, it's so vast, it has so much stuff. I was only able to do the top half or bottom half. No, bottom half to start with. And when I get back to DC, I'm gonna do the other half. But to like take and just attack people just to attack them because you feeling some type of way about your homeboys getting caught up. Why? You are signing executive orders put um to put Confederate statues back in place, back up. For what? The Confederacy lasted 5 years, 4.5 good years. People are still fighting today to try to keep it alive. The South should rise again. Man, rise to where? We're a union now. Supposed to be a democratic republic. Slavery lasted 400 years. Jim Crow lasted 160 years. Matter of fact, Jim Crow just went away, technically, in 1960, 1965, 1968. I told you I love history, so I, I, I don't have all the facts memorized, the dates memorized, but this is true. This is all true stuff. And I want God's people, I'm telling y'all, I'm begging y'all, please, April 5th to be here later this week. Don't go into them streets. We have people in law enforcement, some in the military, some in federal law enforcement, itching to take you out of here. Itching to. And it's all based on an unfounded fear. That fear says, if black people ever become in power, they're going to do to me what I've done to them. They're not going to say the quiet part out loud. I'll say it for you. They're going to say it out loud. There's a fear. It's been projected by 2045, 2050 that white people will be the minorities here in the United States. If you notice, our president is talking about taking over Greenland. There ain't no black people in Greenland. He's also allowing Afrikaners over in South Africa who participated in apartheid and took land from black Africans. Well, only American people are black, but Africans, darker people, took their land. And so they took it back. Now these people are quote unquote displaced. That's where Elon came from. And let me tell y'all, I'll never in my life call him the co-president. Ever. He's not. He's just some dude that invested in another dude that said, hey, you keep me out of prison, I'll keep you out of prison, because they've attacked everything that was investigating them. We keep each other out of prison and we'll live our lives and we'll make plenty of money off the federal government out of the backs of people. That's not a conspiracy. That's what happened. They told a few things. Hey, if he goes to prison, then we all messed up. He didn't use messed up. He said effed up. These things are happening. People want us to get out here and cut the fool. I'm begging y'all. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. If you're going to boycott Target, boycott Target. If you're going to boycott Walmart, boycott Walmart. If you're going to boycott Amazon, boycott Amazon. That's a hard one for me because I be needing stuff and don't nobody live with me. So that's my way to get stuff. But don't go into them streets April 5th. Don't fall for this trap. Don't fall for this trap. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It's happening. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. The number one reason why I could tell you it's not a conspiracy because they wrote it. It's written down. Project 2025. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't some clandestine thing. They released this, and our president lied and claimed he knew nothing about it. Yet, soon as he got sworn in, that's what he enacted. That's what he said. We're gonna go this way. It benefits me and those that look like me. I'm begging y'all, please don't go into these streets. Don't get out there and cut the fool. Don't get out there and get yourself arrested. You see what's happening. People are being um, deported that are here legally. I'm begging you, please don't go into them streets. Don't fall for it. It's designed to take you away from what it is that you know, which is taking care of your family. Yes, gas prices and food prices and things are getting a little higher right now. It's a season. It's going to change. Black people out here, everybody got their boots on the ground. We've tried. We've done a lot. We've done plenty. I'm begging y'all, don't fall for it. Don't give the enemy the slightest little inkling of a chance. Your family needs you out here. There's no use in taking the family's money now and um squandering it by getting in trouble. No, don't do it. It's not worth it. I've said time and time again. Government is great. It's politics that's evil. It was said that our current president is trying to reintroduce segregation. I watched the video today. This man said it works. He was an older man. He said, when we were segregated, we own more businesses. I don't necessarily want to have to go back to segregation, but as a believer and as a black man here in America, I know I'm gonna be okay. I ain't trying to cozy up and rub elbows with people that don't want me around. No, hey, you don't want me around, I don't want you around. Simple as that. I've gone through worse. No, I don't want that for us as a nation. I don't want us to be torn apart. I don't want us to be a house divided. I want us to have the very best that we can have. But unfortunately, we don't live in a time where people think it's okay for us to have that. If you tell me, and I don't expect for a whole lot of people, these are my opinions. This is my show. This is what God gave me. This is my word. I don't expect for everybody to amen everything that I'm saying. Y'all may not believe this, but every time I push this blast off button over here on this computer to start this show, I have a whole lot of nerves and anxiety that try to creep up on me and take me out of here every time. It's no different than standing before God's people in a platform or a pulpit sharing the word. I feel the same exact way. But I'm telling you, I'm sitting down, but I'm telling you that boldly, flat footed, don't go out into them streets. Don't give these people an opportunity to take you out of here. We got drunks, rapists, and drug addicts in charge right now. That's no lie. These are things that are well documented. Again, I don't operate in conspiracy theory. Only facts and truth over here. I'm one of those people, I'm very blunt, I'm very direct. You're gonna know if I'm lying or not because I'm gonna tell you, no, I'm just kidding, or I'm lying. But my personality is to be straight with you, straight shooter. This ain't something that I'm guessing about. This is something that people are plotting and planning to take us out of here one by one or as much as possible. Our president ran on economy, abortion, eggs, gas, all this stuff. He hasn't mentioned any of those things since he's been in office. Any of those things. And I want people to pay attention. I promise you, I don't understand people that wholly support our president. And I say to people, I know a Trump supporter has to be tired because y'all spend the vast majority of your time moving that goalpost. That goalpost can never stay in place. No one in our country, in any administration, has ever had the amount of grace that this dude had. This didn't just start November 5th, 2024. This has been going on literally since 2008. But it's been gradually building though, little by little. I hear people talk about how bad the economy is, and I'm like, what does that mean? What does that look like to you personally? Because I don't see it certain times. I hear people talking about how great of a businessman this guy is. You went bankrupt 6 times, working on 7 with the United States. How? Where? Taking from people? Using people up? That's good business? How? The Bible tells us it, it out of all the things you shouldn't do is owe somebody. You owe nobody nothing but love and respect. That's it. It's almost like you go to a restaurant with a person and they eat the food halfway and then they send it back and say it's not good. Well, you're almost full now. How? What happens to the morals of the United States? What happens to the character? We have a man who thinks he's strong, but is really and truly a coward and a weakling. Never had to work hard a day in his life, leading us. And because he's offended that somebody said, because somebody said, you're wrong for what you did, we're going to hold you accountable. You go on this tear to go back and get back at your political enemies. I was watching a video last night how the number one thing our current administration is doing is coming against lawyers, taking the clearances of lawyers that's worked with other administrations to come after him. A mature person doesn't want vengeance. Righteousness doesn't want vengeance. The number one thing I truly believe that this current administration is going to do for everybody is send people back to Jesus. That's the only thing I can think of because everything else that's been done is pushing people off a cliff. We've we've torn up some relationships that that might be irreparable at this point. Don't know. Won't know until this current administration is out. We have a man that has this hero simplex or syndrome, and it's like, bruh, like the whole TikTok thing. I said, I remember when TikTok went off for them 24 hours or whatever. I said, this is gonna be a Trump issue. He's gonna put his name on it somehow. I'll be doggone it. The next day, thanks to President Trump, he didn't do anything. You want to level Gaza to turn it into a resort town. What? It's already bad. Two brothers' kids are fighting. They've been fighting with each other since the beginning of time almost. And two brothers, I'm talking about half brothers, Isaac and what's that man's name? Uh, Ishmael. They fighting one another. All descendants fighting one another. Came from the same man. One was promise, one was flesh. Same man. Please, y'all. I'm begging y'all. I'm almost 45 minutes in. I'm begging y'all. Don't get out there and cut up with these people. Let those who broke it fix it. And also, don't celebrate anybody's downfall. I can't stress that enough, because God is not going to take his eyes off of what you're doing to make sure that they you're not going to do that. Please don't get out here and celebrate. Don't get out here and cut the fool with these people. Don't get out here and don't get out here and just act a monkey, because they're trying to lock you in the zoo. Yeah, this is a good time for us to keep our ears to the streets, but we also keep our ear to God's mouth. Know God's heart in this season. Know what it is that he's wanting us to do and how he wants us to handle things these days. I'm begging y'all, please, y'all, don't fall for it. It's a trap. I really feel that deep down in my soul, it is a trap. It's a trap, and it's only meant to keep us people. That's black people, poor people, Latinos, and all of these people down. That's all. I'm begging y'all, please. If y'all don't do anything else, if you don't listen to any other podcast I have, I'm begging y'all, don't get into these streets and cut the fool. Don't give into what the enemy wants us to do. The unfortunate thing about it is the enemy is in our house. Ain't nothing we can do about it. We can pray, we can fast, we can do all of these things. This ain't our fight. Don't fall for it. They want you. As I said, you got to go back. You got to go back and watch the replay, Mel. I'm begging y'all. It's a trap. Please. If you align with it ideologically, I want you to please get into the comments, and I want you to tell me exactly why you align with it. Don't try to throw God into it. God ain't got nothing to do with this. I want you to tell me. What is it? What is it that I'm missing as a believer? What is it? Because when we live in days now where we're looking at stuff and people say, "Oh, that's not what it is." Well, what is it then? You can't run over my toe with your car and then say, "Oh man, that was just a little skateboard. You'll be all right." No, it was your 4,000-pound car that ran over my foot. You'll be all right. It's just a foot. It'll be all right. No, that's not what we're talking about. I don't like seeing people have their lives in limbo based on somebody's feelings. Dale Jr. said it. It's true. The country was never meant to be run like a business. But since we're talking about business, make it your business to stay out them streets. Don't let nobody trick you to knock you off your game, especially black people. We've gone through different things before. We made it through slavery. We made it through Jim Crow. We made it through the civil rights movement. We made it through all of these things. We got the scars to prove it. We don't have the reparations to prove it, but we got the scars to prove it. We got the knowledge. We got the wisdom. America has about 35,000 museums. It has about 6,000 hospitals. So what that says is they want you to remember. They just don't want you to heal from it. I mean, we got museums for everything. We got prison and jail museums all over. Who wants to keep up with that? Things that we know as a nation are being attacked purposely. And everything, instead of our leadership taking accountability, and everything that's happening is for people like me to get out into the streets, cut the fool, just so you can A, kill me, or B, lock me away forever. Yep, you're right, Dow Jr. Black people, we know all the buzzwords. Woke, DEI, those are all words that says black. That's what when you think of those words, when you hear those words, Black Lives Matter, all of these things, it always goes back to black. And I'm telling you, you can't tell me that you're a believer in Christ if you don't want justice. If you don't want the proper judgment from a righteous judge, you can't tell me that. It's impossible. I ain't got nothing else to say. I said I wasn't gonna be on here long. I'm 51 minutes in, and I'm begging y'all, please, please, please. I'm begging y'all, don't get out into them streets. Don't cut the fool with these people. Don't let these people manipulate you, dominate you, intimidate you into falling off your square. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. That's right, Auntie Cent. Stay home, rest your nerves. I'm begging y'all. Please don't do it. It's not worth it. Stay home. Go to work. Go straight back home. Let those who mess it up fix it. This is not our fight. Okay? Excuse me. Oh man. I knew I wasn't gonna stay long. I didn't even write any notes for this show. I was gonna give y'all a presentation, but I said forget it. I'm gonna worry about it. If y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, you can call or you can send me an email. Uh, Next week I got a pretty decent show next week. I'm going to be talking to someone about. I think I am. I'm gonna email her when I get off of here. I'm going to be talking to someone about uh being black and brown. And let me see. I wrote it down because I knew I'd forget it. Um, Technical education in the black and brown community. My guest is supposed to be Miss Leslie Reynolds. I was introduced to her last week by a friend of mine, and we're going to see. Uh, okay, we're going to see if we can get this done and talk about what's happening. She said she specializes in working with special needs people, and so we're going to see if we can get information because I want people to have information and to have people be empowered. That's what I want. I want people to be empowered, and I want people to know that God has their back. That He's never left nor forsaken them. But before I go, I'm gonna say this. Um, so I was supposed to have another show this week. I was supposed to have a show with one of my friends, Crystal, and she and I was supposed to be talking about platonic friendships. Now, as you can see, that didn't happen today. So I'll say this. Crystal said that I said something last week that offended her because I talked about her. Now, I'm this type of person. And I'm learning over the years that if a person tells you they feel some type of way about something, you take it seriously and you rectify it as best as you could. Now, I've been a clown for a very long time. I've been a clown since I was a kid. I've been a clown with all my friends and things like that. And I don't make any difference. I don't do any type of sugarcoating, or I don't put one person above the other in my life that are my friends. Now, my friends are not on the level with my family, and my family would not be the level on the same level with my wife and so forth and so on. But my friend told me that I offended her with a joke that I made last week. My friend said that I made a joke that offended her last week, and I just want to say, I apologize, Crystal. I apologized to you earlier in the week. We haven't spoken, but I want to say I apologize. I'm a clown. It's stuff that I do. I clown people my whole life. Joe, Tyrone, to OC, anybody that knows me, my mom, my aunt, they'll tell you. My children, they know that's what I do. I've never meant for it to be malicious or anything like that. However, I just want to say I apologize, and I hope that one day we could probably be restored. If not, I'm okay with that as well. You've been my friend for 25 years, and I've loved you. I've been there for you. You've been there for me, and I don't want anything that I say or do to offend you at all, or anybody for that matter. So I apologize, Crystal, for making jokes. Okay. My auntie says she's gonna call in, so we're gonna see what she's gonna do. The number is up, Auntie Cent. Please turn your TV off, Auntie Cent. You gotta listen through the telephone. Okay. You gotta listen through the telephone. I've already done my chores for the day. I'm hungry. Uh, okay, here we go. Did you turn your TV down?
I did. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing this evening?
I am great. Hey, let me tell you about the incident that occurred today with me.
Okay.
I actually went to. Yeah, well, I'm making sure. I actually went to bingo this afternoon,
Okay.
and I was at the tables, how they're set up.
You did
I put
not.
it on mute.
Go ahead. I hear you.
Okay. Can you understand me?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I put it on. I was sitting at a table. Went to bingo, and I was at some table. Okay. So I need to cut TV off?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, because I'm getting feedback, but I'll say it anyway. And so what happened was this lady had put a bag down for a friend, I assumed, but I was already sitting there. So when the friend came in, after I had already put my things down, she moved her things over on my things because I had gotten up and I went to the bathroom. So when I got back to the table, I sat down and her things was on top of mine. And I said, "Do you mind giving me a little space?" She says, um, "My friend put my stuff here because she was expecting me." And she said, "Will you just take your stuff and move over?" And I said to myself, "These folks are wanting me to clown."
Don't do
I
it.
just got up and I just moved to another table. And I said to myself, even though I was a little wounded, I said to myself, these are the small things that will cause we as black people to act out of character.
Right.
So I just got up and I moved. My feelings were hurt, but I'm glad I got up and moved. I didn't win anything or whatever, but hmm?
I'm listening.
That will cause we as white people to act out.
I'm listening. Hello.
I mean,
I'm listening. I'm glad you didn't.
but it is a kind of echo, so it's kind of hard to hear you at the same time. But I just said that to say this: um, think young people, think older people, as they say, middle aged older people. We have to understand that even the smallest things will cause us to fall out of character.
Yeah, it's very volatile right now. It's very volatile right now. And everybody is like a volcano that's boiling, and everybody seems like ready to erupt at this moment. But I'm praying to God that no one will take the bait of the other. Some things and it doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us soft or anything like that. But we just have to let it go, and we got to walk away. We have to say, "You got it," just to survive these days. That's it. Thank you for calling, Auntie Set. We just have to let it go. We gotta walk away. We have to say, got it. Just to survive. Thank you for calling. Hey, simple as that. That's it. Sometimes you just gotta say, okay, you got it. Okay. Whew. All right. I want to say I love y'all, and hopefully, like I said, we can get my guest in next week. I got a pretty decent little lineup coming up. A lot of hometown people that are going to be on the show in the coming weeks. So, um, uh, Gwen Rogers, she and I, we set up something. We're going to talk about her new, um, we're going to talk about her new venture, Peachway Pictures. I think that's what it's called. I know, DJ. we're So we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk to my friend Nancy Denise. We're going to talk about being black in Alaska. Something that interesting to me. So, okay. I love y'all. It's 10:02. It's already late. I got to go to work in about 4 hours. So I want you guys to enjoy your week. I want you guys to have a safe and productive week. And I'm begging you with everything in me. Do not get out in them streets and cut the food this week. Let them people do what they do. But you go home to your family. You get up and you go to your job. You do what you got to do. Keep your head down. Keep your hands clean. Keep your nose clean. And you make sure you take care of you, because you're your first responsibility. Okay? Oh, man. I love y'all. Jesus love you. If you don't know him, if you want to know him, you can send me an email. I'll send you a Bible. I'll pray you through salvation. We'll do what it is we need to do. But I'm telling you, we're living in some tumultuous times right now, and it's real volatile. And I want my people, black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Asian, whomever, to keep your head up and do what you need to do. Okay? God bless you. I love you. Peace. Hey, little Musty. My bad. I forgot. I was too busy trying to get up out of here because, I'm off to the next thing. Check this out. I forgot to tell you, I need for you to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. Every time you see this chocolate man with these headphones and this doggone black glasses, you know you're finna get some good quality content. We over here talking with some sense over here, okay? I want you to let all you people know. Tell them to meet me every Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, every streaming platform you can find. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support and I thank you. I'll catch you next time. All right, peace.